Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, who are teaching the truth and sincerity. And shout out to Yakim that's out there in the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha to Yahweh, Bracha to Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash, Bracha to. So, here, another ISIS strike, if you will, which is really Israeli Secret Intelligence Services. ISIS, which is another acronym for Israeli State. IDF launches airstrikes against Iran, Quads, and Syria, sending a message, right? So, you know, the Israeli state and Amalekites and gutter rats are, continuing with their continued terrorism against Syria and the region, aka Valley Hawashapad. The Lisa flocked on everybody into this.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Dina Kalmada here. And for today's broadcast, I do have quite a few headlines I'd like to share with you. And I'd like to start with this first report from the Times of Israel. And they are reporting Israeli fighter jets attacked military sites controlled by Iran's Revolutionary Guard and the Syrian military around Damascus early Wednesday morning in response to explosives that troops uncovered on Israel.
And remember, the scriptures tell us, though, that Damascus will be wax feeble, and turneth herself to flee. So eventually, Israeli state, who I believe it to be, is going to actually launch a nuclear strike against Damascus in that same hour.
Israel's border with Syria. On Tuesday, the Syrian state news agency said that 3 soldiers were killed and 1 was injured in the attack. But there were no immediate reports of casualties from the IRGC. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said that 10 people in total were killed in the Israeli strikes, some of them Iranian. But this could not be immediately confirmed. The observatory has in the past been accused of inflating and even inventing casualty figures. In general, Israel does not intentionally target people in its airstrikes, instead focusing on infrastructure, as this has been found to reduce the likelihood of retaliation by Iran and its proxies. But according to the IDF, the attack damaged warehouses, command posts, and military complexes, as well as batteries of surface-to-air missiles. The Syrian news agency reported that the Israeli strikes hit targets near Damascus, causing material damage, but didn't elaborate further on the locations or extent of the destruction. It goes on further to report that the IDF said that the airstrikes were in response to the explosives that it discovered on the border on Tuesday, which it said were planted by a Syrian cell that acted under Iranian direction. And following the discovery, Defense Minister Benny Gantz and the military said that they held Syria responsible for the incident. In the meantime, it has also been reported that the Pentagon says it shot down unarmed missiles in a sea-based test. The report goes on to read, in a first for the Pentagon's push to develop defenses against intercontinental range ballistic missiles capable of striking the U.S., a missile interceptor launched from a U.S. Navy ship at sea hit and destroyed a mock ICBM in flight on Tuesday. Previous tests against the ICBM targets had used interceptors launched from underground silos in the United States. And
you see, people's faith in the United States that they can survive a nuclear conflict, they're very confident. But 200,000 of these will not miss, will not come back in vain, And of course, that's a rumor of war, because we do know what the scriptures say about Damascus, that eventually it'll happen. But this is going on in Australia, as we have a brother from Australia, and you know that Australia's already pretty much been in a lockdown, some of the most severe. And we're going to see a Australian-style lockdown here in America very shortly. Fuck Newsom is about to announce more restrictions by Friday.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Makar Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule impeccably well. And Shalom to the Archeum pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch, and this is going to be a brief video concerning this article you see here on the screen, taken from news.com.au. which I believe is a Australian news outlet, okay? Now it reads, payment microchip implant interest, 17% of Australians report fines, okay? So according to this recent report that's been conducted, 17% of around 25.5 million, which I believe is the population of the Australian people at the moment, are interested in having the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, implanted in their body. Okay? 17% of 25.5 million. Okay? Now that number, that figure, we know will go up staggeringly, okay? When people find out that this is actually going to be made mandatory. And if you want to be a part of Esau's system, of his grid, all right, you're going to have to take that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, okay? So when people do find out, that this is going to be made mandatory, all right, that number will go up, okay? And number will go up because a large majority of people are going to find out that without that chip, you're not going to be able to buy or sell, all right? And we will get into that. You're not going to be able to function normally as you have done previously without that RFID chip, okay? So many people will indeed succumb to taking that chip, all right? Because they have nothing else better to do. If the Lord ain't dealing with you, all right, if you don't know Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and this is really applying to you tribes out there, man, you Israelites, if you don't have a relationship, all right, with Yahweh Shem Yahushai in that day, you will indeed take the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, because you have nothing to fall back on, okay? And I mentioned this in a video I done yesterday, and the Spirit keeps having me bring this up because ultimately, those that don't take the chip, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that get, reserved from that hour of temptation, that's because, the Lord has given us the gift of faith. Okay? That's because the Lord gave us the gift of faith and we had fear in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Now, if you have none of those ingredients, then you're subject to take the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, man. Okay? Because you have nothing to fall back on. All right? The scriptures say, cast your burdens upon the Lord. But you can only do that if you have a relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You can't cast your burdens on Jesus Christ, man. All right? He ain't going to be there for you in that day. All right? Jesus Christ is not going to be there for you, during the time of the hour of temptation, man. Okay? Now it says here, close to 1 in 5 Australians are interested in having a microchip implanted in their hand. They could use to make payments, according to a new report from a financial services technology firm. And it just goes to show you that this whole agenda, this whole new world order has been well underway, for many years, because they've been carrying out these reports, taking these surveys, upon the people to find out where their mindset is, man. So when they really want to, go all out with the promotion of the RFID chip, they're going to know already how easy or how hard it's going to be, all right? Because they've been collecting data for many years, man. Okay? Now it says, despite already being able to pay for things with your phone or watch, 17% of Aussies said they were interested in actually implanting a chip that lets you make payments into their body. Okay? This was slightly ahead of the 15% of respondents in the UK and the US, but far behind China, where 49% said they were interested. So in the land of China, you have, pretty much half of the population interested in being chipped. Okay? And that's why, Moab, they're all into technology, man. They're all into their computer games, making their life easier, doing minimal effort. That's the whole spirit of Moab. Okay, so they're going to take the chip, man. They ain't going to take much for a Moabite to take the RFID chip. They will take it now. They're ready to take it now. But the plan is to get the whole world on board with the same enthusiasm as other nations, man. And that's why, when you research Visa, they do a yearly report when they take the statistics of every nation and how ready they are to cross over into a cashless society. That's a report that's done every single year, you know. And Lord willing, you know, if the spirit permits, I'll do another lesson on that. It's been a few years since I've done that lesson, but it'll be interesting to see, you know, what kind of information they've added to the report. All right. So it says China recently launched a new digital currency. It hopes it will become the global reserve like the US dollar did following World War II. The report was conducted by FIS Global, which provides technology solutions for merchants, banks, and capital market firms. Its local general manager for global e-commerce, Phil Pomford, said the higher interest in Australia was to be expected. Australians are usually on the front foot when it comes to adopting emerging payment trends, and we have already seen a huge uptake in biometric payment trends like fingerprint sensors and facial recognition technology. All right, so all of these, you know, previous, you know, payment methods like, you know, biometric, you know, you got your Apple Pay, you got your Android Pay, all of those were basically methods of gradualism, man. All right, getting you used to the New World Order system so you can be, you know, conditioned into taking the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. All right, that's all that other technology was, man. All right, that was never here to stay. It was just gearing you up, you know, for the main event, man. All right, so it says that huge uptake could be partially due to the addition of payment options on your smartphone or watch like Apple Pay or Google Pay that allow you to pay for things on your phone, which is protected with biometric tech like Face ID and fingerprint sensors. All right, so there's a video up here. It's a very short video. We're going to play this video, and then what we're going to do, we're going to briefly get into some scriptures, and then we'll close out.
Tapping on can take a few tries due to the modifications. The chip had to be cut out and encased in biocompatible plastic before being implanted by a piercing specialist who is able to manage the risk of infection.
Most definitely don't try it unless you know what you're doing. I think the most important thing, be aware of the risks involved and then make wise judgment based on that.
In case you needed another reason not to try this, it's also against Opal's
And they're talking about, you know, that infection. When we go into the book of Revelations, it talks about that sore, all right? It actually talks about that sore. Now let's get it here. This is Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship the image, all right? Because remember, there's going to be radiation emitting through your body if you get the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, man. All right? And no foreign objects are meant to be inserted into your body anyway, okay? All right? That's against the scriptures. The scriptures talk about getting cuttings in the flesh for the dead, okay? So that's not something we're meant to do. It's actually against the scriptures, okay? Now it says here, this is the word sore, okay? Now it says a wound, especially a wound producing a discharge, pus, a sore, a euclea, okay? So anyone that gets the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, they're going to receive a grievous sore, okay? Now, it might not happen straight away. It might be a few days. It might be a few hours or whatever the case may be, but that will indeed happen, man, all right? Because no foreign objects are supposed to be in your body, okay? Especially, you know, from the devil, all right, from Esau, Edom. That's against the scriptures. All right, so that is actually going to come to pass. That's going to happen. And it has already happened. You got people out there that have the RFID chip, all right, and they've actually got infections, all right? They've got cancerous, you know, tumors in their hand and all sorts, man. You can do the research on it, man. So these things have actually happened, but it's going to happen on a grand scale, okay? Because everyone is going to be chipped, you know, at some point really soon, because it's going to be made mandatory, and everyone's going to experience these things that are written in the book of Revelations, man. Okay, everyone that gets that chipped. But the elect, you know, we ain't going to be chipped, man. Lord willing, we be of those men. All right, so this is Revelations 13, and I'll get to the point. And verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. So that's that chip. That's that RFID chip, okay? That's the mark of the beast, man. And that's what Esau Edom is trying to push in these last days, okay? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so you're not going to be able to purchase anything. You're not going to be able to buy food. Okay, you're not going to be able to even be a part of society. All right, you're going to be off the grid if you don't take, all right, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Hey, and that's exactly what the elect plan on doing. Not taking the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, man. So wherever it takes, you know, Yahweh Shimi Al Shai is going to give us the spirit, all right, the conviction and the belief and the faith in order to deal with that situation when it arises, man. All right, and you got to have faith in that. All right, you got to have faith in Yahweh Shimi Al Shai, especially during this time period, man. All right, because there's going to be a lot of tribulation and a lot of trials, all right, that we're going to be faced with, and your faith is the only thing that's going to keep you going, man. All right, what does it say in Isaiah 33:6? And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. Okay, that's going to be our strength of salvation. This wisdom, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we possess, man, through the Spirit. All right. Now here's the judgment, man. This is Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And indignation means righteous anger, man. All right, so anyone that gets that chip, you're going to feel the wrath and the indignation of Yahweh Shimi Al Shai, man. That righteous fury, that righteous anger, okay? That's going to be a terrible thing to experience. All right, that's a fearful thing. The scriptures say that it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power, man. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So you're going to be tormented with that fire, that ICBM missile fire, man. All right, if you get that chip. With fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So you really have to envision these things, man. All right, that's where that fear comes in. You got to envision, you know, being tormented in the presence of Yahweh Shai and the holy angels, man. You know, and the many other apparitions that will be on the loose during that dreadful day, man. You got to imagine these things, man, because that's where you can really, you know, concentrate and encapsulate that fear of Yahweh Shimi Al Shai, man. All right, you got to envision these things. The scriptures say the people perish where there is no vision. And that's the problem with, you know, 2/3 of our people and the rest of the wicked of our people throughout the four corners of the globe. They have no vision. They can't see this coming, man. Therefore, they have no fear. Okay, so they think it's a joke. They think they're just going to get chipped. You know, majority of them just going to get chipped, you know, and they just going to, you know, live on Esau's grid until they get destroyed when the coming of Yahweh Shimi Al Shai commences, man. Okay? So with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying. And until next time, I'll say shalom.